Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to share with you my easy yet delightful cherry cobbler. Insanely easy to make, and I wanted to share with you because I've got some beautiful fresh cherries that taste divine, and I wanted to make this recipe because I've gotten a lot of questions about cobblers lately, and I have done a peach cobbler a couple years ago, and this is kind of the same thing but with cherries, but I figured I'd share it with you because I love cobbler made this way. The ingredients you'll need are very few, basic and simple ingredients you probably already have on hand, starting with some fresh cherries that I have pitted, some sugar, cornstarch, pinch of cinnamon, lemon juice, and then you'll also need some more sugar, all-purpose flour, pinch of salt, baking powder, milk, some eggs, and you'll need some butter. Oh, you'll need some unsalted butter. Now, if you wanted to just turn things up a little bit, you could add a splash of cherry brandy to the mixture, but that's completely up to you. I'm omitting it today, but it is definitely a good thing if you want to add a little bit in. The first thing you want to do is get your oven preheated to 350. What I have here is like a 13 by 9 inch casserole dish, or you can use a baking pan, whatever you got that's about 13 by 9, with some unsalted butter. And I'm going to pop this into the oven so the butter can start melting, and as that's happening we'll get going on making the cherry mixture. Now, just to make our cherry mixture, it's so easy. I've got my cherries in there. To that I'm going to add some sugar, my cornstarch, and a small pinch of cinnamon. If you don't want to use the cinnamon, you could also use like a hint of almond extract. That'd be really lovely. I like almond in my cherry pie, not here, but again, personal preference. And all I'm going to do is cook this together just for about a minute or so, or until the cherries just sort of, everything just kind of heats up and some of that sugar starts melting and it just gives off a little bit of the juice. That looks good enough. I'm going to set them aside into the same bowl. Again, you don't have to wait until the sugar is completely melted. I just wanted to heat them up for a quick minute just to kind of like somewhat dissolve the cornstarch. Set that aside to cool slightly, and then we'll get going on making the batter. It is so easy. Now, let's chat for a second. Cobblers, there's a few different ways you can make cobblers. A lot of people make them this way, which is the way I'm making it today, which is kind of like a sponge cake sort of, or some people make it with a biscuit-like topping. I prefer this method. It's my favorite. I just feel like the juices really seep into the sponge, so everything just tastes fantastic. But if you would like my version of a biscuit-topped cobbler, let me know down below and I would love to bring it to you. And also let me know what fruit you would like to see and then I'll make it next. So let me know what you want to see and I'll bring it to you very, very soon. Now, to my milk, I'm just going to add my egg. I'm just going to quickly mix it with my fork. It doesn't have to be perfectly mixed. I'm not worried about it because it is all going to get mixed together in here. I've got my sugar and my flour, and I also have my salt and my baking powder. Giving it a really quick mix. I'm going to add my milk and egg, and then just stir everything together until it's all combined. My butter is melted, my batter is ready, my cherry mixture is cooled. I am ready to rock and roll. Now, you're going to just start pouring things in, no mixing. Watch. I've got my butter. I'm adding in my batter, and I know this looks awkward and you're thinking to yourself like that's never going to work, but just you trust me. And then we have our cherries. They've cooled quite a bit. And again, no mixing. These are fresh, sweet, gorgeous cherries that I'm using. If you want to use frozen, make sure that they are thawed first and discard of any of the extra liquid. Excellent. Get all that in there too. On all that juice. Okay, I'm gonna pop this into the oven. First, wash my hands. Pop this into the oven for about 35 to 40 minutes, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. My cobbler was in the oven for about 40 minutes and it looks beautiful. I have let this cool for about 10 minutes, but it's still really, really warm. And as you can see by the magic of the oven, everything just looks magnificent. And it all baked exactly as it should. Oh, this is gonna be fantastic. Look at that. Look at those gorgeous cherries. Are you seeing that? You can even see it over here. Oh, it smells phenomenal. And I love this. I love that so many of the cherries still hold their shape. That is phenomenal. This is a cobbler I am after. Now I have to let this cool because as you can see, it is steaming. It's still really hot. But that is award-winning in my book. The juices from the cherries are fantastic. The cherries still taste nice and fresh, not overly sweetened. Top this with a little bit of creme fraiche, a little vanilla ice cream, or maybe a little bit of whipped cream, and you are in business. But try cobbler made this way if you've never done it before, because you will be amazed at how easy, but yet it doesn't look like it might be the most incredible thing in the world, but trust me, it is divine. LauraInthekitchen.com has the recipe waiting for you. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and if you recreate this recipe, don't forget to share a picture. I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show... I'm gonna smack you with it. Smack you like that. Come on, stop making me laugh. My nonna would legit come around this thing and smack you with it. Okay, ready? Stop.
Action in 4.
Excellent. Now, I've got my baking sheet. Let's restart that because this is not a baking sheet. Ready?